there's something called Tombstone algorithms. Have you heard of this?
No.
I learned about this at World War Debate when we did our first one, but there were some people there that were telling me about Tombstone algorithms. And it's basically that these platforms don't forget, right? Like the early wave of conspiracies. So YouTube used conspiracies to build up their platform. Like everyone's going to check out Loose Change and all that stuff, and everyone was rushing to that, and it blew it up. And then at some point around 2015, and I tell people, like, a real watershed moment in our country was Hillary Clinton stealing the nomination from Bernie Sanders.
Right.
Because it was the first time in which the elites were like, no, we're going to get the person we want in. We don't care what you think.
Right.
We're doing what we want. And people woke up to that. And they're like, this is kind of crazy. And it really did damage to the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. And we can get into all the struggles they've had funding their campaigns, which is, after that, the Democrats had to go to the cartels in Mexico for money to fund their campaigns. And that's why all this shit is going on with this tax fraud. Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's why Kamala Harris picks Tim Walz, because he can get her the money, which is $1 billion, to fund her campaign for president, because they learned from Hillary Clinton that no one's going to believe you're winning when you're putting 45 people in a cafeteria and Trump's playing these giant stadiums.
Right.
So what they did with Kamala Harris is they got all this money and they paid for the arena.
Yeah.
And it was like a Grateful Dead show where they were just following her around doing all these arena shows.
Right.
That's where the $1 billion went to, her paying for these arena shows. Right? They weren't real. They did like geo-tracking. It was the same people over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So basically what happens is YouTube, Twitter changed a little bit. Something's going on with it now. I can't see my live streams on there. I'm trying to find the post of my live stream. I have a Cash Daddy's podcast about finances and stuff. I couldn't find it in my timeline. I couldn't retweet it. I couldn't put it in my featured stuff.
Since after Elon bought it?
Yeah, this is this week. I was looking for it on Monday. It wasn't anywhere in the timeline. It showed that I was live streaming. Our numbers were super low compared to what we normally get on Twitter.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it anywhere. Couldn't find it retweets so people knew where it was, which is very weird. But like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they have something called Tombstone algorithms, which is basically you're put in a system where they don't forget. They remember what you did. They go, you caused all this. And they
really?
Yeah. So all these new conspiracy shows are coming on YouTube, and they're getting huge numbers talking about the same things I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they're getting into the 300,000s. We were getting hundreds of thousands of views on Tinfoil Hat at first, and then boom,
got smoked.
And now we're getting like on our new page, we're getting 10,000 if we're lucky. And they won't let us.
Didn't something happen to you where you lost your YouTube channel?
I've lost 2 channels.
I remember you talking about this
back
with Joe. Something happened where you got shut down, and you talked about it on his podcast.
So the first time I lost a YouTube channel, I had a show called The Naughty Show, and because I was I'm still a dirty comic. I love dirty comedy. I'm not prude. I like dirty comedy. And we were doing sketches that were like dirty. Mm-hmm. And we were getting hundreds of thousands of views. And this was a long time ago. We were interviewing adult film stars, all this stuff. Dude, because I did a Vivid Video comedy tour, and I was just crushing. I'm like, okay, this is my crowd. They like dirty comedy. They stopped doing it. I'm like, I got to keep this crowd, so I'm going to start my own show called The Naughty Show. And this is kind of a great example of how much the industry hates me. So Comedy Central back in the day did something called Pitch Pilot, where they gave you $5,000 and you showed them the show you would like to do. So we do this big show. My girlfriends did like Michael Jackson videos, did that famous Russian concert in like 30 years ago in Russia. She did I'm in a Britney Spears video. I'm in a Michael Jackson video. She was doing all these high budget stuff, and she helped me create this live show. So we do the live show. It's the first time they've sold out this theater, which is weird because it's only 100 seats, but they're like, we've never sold out these. All these people that are huge now, they were unknowns then. They were all in the crowd. We do the show. It blows up. Week later, my manager calls Comedy Central. They're like, what'd you think? They go, we love the show. We hate Sam Tripoli. Yeah. And that is the story of me in Hollywood. Right.
Oh my
They love my ideas. They just hate me. So they try to do my ideas without me. So I basically was excommunicated. What was the purpose I told you this? Oh, so I started doing the Naughty Show by myself. We started posting these videos and they were getting hundreds of thousands of views. And then boom, they're like gone.
Yeah.
And we were like, the stuff now that everybody sees where they're interviewing adult film stars, we were doing that way back in the day. Obviously, Howard Stern started that, and Opie and Anthony were doing that as well. But like, we were doing that in a podcast form, taken away. So then I start, tinfoil hat, and we're posting videos. We're getting people like Alex Jones coming on before he got excommunicated, having all these, and we're getting hundreds of thousands of views. Boom, takes it down. Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz both call me. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, they just took my channel. Both of them, geez, they called up YouTube and they gave it back to me, but they never forgot. They never forgot. And if I go everywhere.
You're still on the naughty list.
I'm still on the naughty list, dude. And then I see guys doing what I'm doing, getting tons of views, and I'm happy for them. But it's like, let daddy play. Mm-hmm. And they just won't do it because they haven't forgotten me. They're like, you fucked us earlier, dude.
I thought I remembered you saying something about some like sketchy family or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say the name.
You can't talk about it.
No, I don't want to say the name.
Okay. Well, what was the context of it?
It will get you in trouble.
Really?
I'm not lying to you, dude. I'm not lying to you, dude.
Let's make up a fake name for this family.
Poopy Pants family.
The Poopy Pants family. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the Poopy Pants family?
They're old French nobility.
Okay.
And there's a belief that they basically control the CFR, and the CFR is basically a trust for all of their businesses, and it's basically them running their businesses. And so I had this girl named Mel K come on. She knew all about the family, and we talked about the family.
This is not the name of the family, right?
I just said it. Damn.
Shut up,
dude. You got beat that. I'm
edit that out.
Edit
it out.
Okay.
Make sure you make a note, timestamp for that.
Yeah, you got to beep that. I'm not even kidding to you, dude.
I'll make sure we don't put that in there.
Yeah, just beep it. So she comes on, she talks about the Poopy Pants family, right?
Yeah.
Hand to God. We dropped the video. We dropped the episode. And within a week, Apple, Google, Facebook, and Twitter all pound me, dude. Like, Facebook says I've been blocked out of my stuff. Apple Podcasts, when you go to Apple Podcasts, you can see how many views you're getting, like how many listens.
Yeah.
It said for like a chunk, like 2 months, no listens, dude. No, it would be like graph, nothing. Graph. Just excommunicated me, dude.
Oh my God.
So then one of them puts out a video going, you want to talk about my family? You'll see what happens.
Who puts out a video?
One of them.
They really?
Yeah.
Publicly?
Puts out a video, and people are sending it to me like, dude, they saw your shit. You talk about my family, you're going to find out. Mel K comes back out. We just mentioned it one time. Boom! They just mess with me again.
Oh my God.
So then Ian Carroll starts talking about it, and I go, Ian, they're going to come after you, dude. Hand to God, like 2 weeks later, he's like, dude, what is up with my numbers on my TikTok? I'm getting completely effed on my stuff. That's why I never meant, you got to beep that stuff. Dude.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not going to put that in there.
I'm telling you, dude, it's all elites, dude.
If you enjoy watching our show on Spotify or YouTube and you want to be more involved, I encourage you to please come check out our Patreon community. Not only does our Patreon community get every episode you see on YouTube early, fully uncensored, and ad-free, but we're also doing Patreon exclusive episodes as well as live Q&As, and you can get your personal questions answered by our guests every single week. For me, being able to collaborate and communicate back and forth with our Patreon community every week has been huge, and this is my way of saying thank you for the cost of a cup of coffee a month. Now back to the show.